What's up, my fellow nerds? Welcome back to a very special secret topic that the guys know nothing about. If you like the things you're seeing here, give it a thumbs up. 2,000 subscribers, leave a comment, and we'll give away a PS5.
This is reckless speculation?
No, this is a reckless rumor
Ooh.
Reckless.
that might actually be true.
Ooh. Okay.
Hold
Okay.
on, hold on.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, the great Bob Iger was given a 3-year extension on his contract, which will take us to 2026.
Okay.
And one of the rumors is that Disney will be put up for sale.
Oh,
And he is
shit.
being shuttered along in here to actually foresee this sell. It's not that they're going to sell off IP; they're going to sell off the entire company.
No.
I mean, only three people can buy it: the Arab Saudi government, Apple, or Amazon. Because
Amazon's gonna
right
buy
now their goal is to sell off all their IP and just focus on the theme parks and the cruises, because that's where they make 70% of their money. And they're going to put out less content because unless it's a $1 billion movie, they technically lose money, even though it makes money.
Mm,
We've come to a point where an $800 million movie is a failure now.
that's crazy.
So in theory, the strike helps them because people still going to the theme parks buying all the junk. I'm one of them. I bought some junk today of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives because that's what people do. And they're going to sell it off. Apple would be perfect for it because even though they have a streaming service, no one watches it. Even the stuff that's given away for free with subscriptions through phone companies, no one watches it.
That's true.
That would be perfect for them. Apple could absorb the loss that an Ant-Man Quantumania or a She-Hulk or a Miss Marvel or the ratings that Secret Invasion is not getting. They could do that because they make that much money. They're worth that much money. So what do you guys think of Disney being sold to Apple?
Yeah, it's just a change of CEO in my eyes.
No, this is way big.
Just for me, because either way I get content.
No, but you remember,
Much
this
Disney
remember, this takes another player off the market.
True.
The eventual sale of WB in a couple of years will take them off the market when Discovery bought them. Now they're going to be bought as well by somebody or merged with somebody.
So
Is it a
So
dying?
Disney is being taken off the market as a
yeah,
player.
as a big wow.
Player in Hollywood. It's
Hollywood.
big. Yeah.
I'm
Because
not probably grasping the weight of this.
the one thing we always complain about is competition. We were talking about it off mic. That's what killed wrestling to me.
Mhm.
When you only had one company left, the creativity slacked
Yeah.
because you weren't competing against somebody else.
go?
Where Right.
you gonna go see content?
Right.
Where you
Apple? I don't even use Apple products.
But that's the point. But now you will.
Oh.
And then let's just say I didn't hear this, but Peacock or Amazon buy WB Warner Discovery now. That's another studio taken off the market, folded in. Remember, 20th Century Fox is gone because Disney bought
it.
And they have like a legendary history since the beginning of Hollywood. That's now off the market.
Okay, so I want to express my
Go ahead. What do you think?
concerns about this because holy shit, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, that's why I just sprung it on you. No time to prep.
Without preparation, it's a huge blow.
Yeah.
It's you can put it however you want. Like obviously, you're looking at it like, oh shit, we're gonna get more content because yeah, Apple got the money or Amazon got the money to pump as many things they want.
Still.
But the problem is, it's not the same thing we were getting from Disney. You know, at the end of the day, it kind of sucks because Disney buys a huge major player in the cinema history, you know,
Right.
Fox, to them be like, you know what, we're going to sell. And it's okay, I understand, because to be honest, it's like you said, they make money out of their theme parks and their
Right.
cruise and whatnot. But, you know, it sucks because, like you said, once, you know, look, I grew up in the 90s. You grew up in the 80s and 90s, and you've seen the evolution of everything. When there's a lot of competition, it brings the best on everybody.
Mhm.
But when it gets to the point where a person or 2 or 3 persons control everything, that's when it becomes boring. Like, obviously, you said the best example of this is, and you didn't see it, wrestling.
Wrestling.
When the Monday Night Wars was going on, it was the best time in wrestling.
Yep.
When WCW decides to buy WWE decides to buy WCW and buys it, they create a nice storyline. And, you know, I was a little young, so everything to me was like, but probably to the older fans, they were like, oh man, we're getting this. Because remember, you were going to start getting this WCW wrestlers with WWE wrestlers, and it wasn't really WCW wrestlers because it was wrestlers that were already in WWE.
Right.
It was more like probably the biggest guy was probably Goldberg. And Sting, they never could have signed him because Sting said that he thinks WWE would have ruined his career.
Yep. He didn't go.
And he didn't go. And he was right, because then when he finally did, look what they happened. But then guess what? It's like Tony said, it's one company we're controlling. Now we got a little bit of good option out there with AEW.
Yeah.
But and you know, wrestling's starting to be fun now. You're starting to see more creativity now from both companies because it's competition. When you start controlling everything, look, WWE lost a lot of fans because of it was boring. It got
eventually, a year or two, eventually, I was out.
Because
Completely out of wrestling.
It's the same thing.
Right, but I like watching both. I like having to record one and watch one live and then watch the next one the next day. I watch both. I know that also killed it, but I liked it that way. I like being a little kid where every part of the country in Canada had its own thing.
I don't know if Tony was, and I think you were, since you said you used to watch both companies, WWE and WCW. Do you remember their biggest mistake was when they announced, because WWE used to be pre-taped.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, and there goes Mankind winning the WWE champion in Raw tonight. Oh, what? That's going to be boring. Bro, they lost like 2 million viewers right off bat. Boom, everybody went to WWE to see Mankind win the title.
Right.
And
because Eric Bischoff would come out and give the results.
So, because he
would
already
say,
knew
like,
that.
right about now, this is going to happen. And it was funny. So it forced McMahon to create, okay, we got to go live 24/7. So remember when they showed up at Atlanta to try to invade WCW while they were taping. So you saw them with a tank trying to come in and getting stopped.
Oh, wow.
The Monday Night Wars were great, but it also killed wrestling.
And that's what's happening right now.
Time Warner AOL decided to merge and get rid of Ted Turner, and the wrestlers figured out within a year they're going to get rid of us. And they decided, even though ratings were better than WWE, they didn't want to do wrestling anymore. And slowly just fired everybody.
Dang.
McMahon came in and scooped them up. But right now, wrestling would have been totally different had they stepped two separate companies. Once you start shrinking all the Hollywood studios into Apple and Amazon,
it's just going to get boring.
Yep.
Look,
That is a lot heavier than I thought.
because remember, if one gets the other one cannot get the same one. So if Amazon or Apple, whichever one gets Marvel, the other one has to get DC.
Right.
So there could be at least some competition, because if one of those two companies get control of both, we're done. And I think, to be honest, I think we're gonna see. This is my prediction, and I could be wrong, and we'll come back to it. You know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be here live. But I think Apple buys Disney.
Yes, everybody's saying by
And I think-
2027.
And I think Amazon buys Warner Brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Amazon got already the whole deal with the Miology.
Well, think about it. They already have the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So they've already put their foot in the door in there. Apple's doing it with soccer and baseball. And now that Messi, the day we taped this, Messi debuted last night in Miami. And we're getting the World Cup coming up. So now you can see there's only going to be two companies in sports and entertainment. And I'd say sports, but really it's just entertainment, because that's going to matter more. And now with the college kids getting NIL and getting paid in college. So where you're going to be a millionaire before you even hit college. And somebody wants that because sports is the only thing that has survived. And I'll put WWE and UFC in there as sports. That's the only thing that survives because it's live and you don't know what's going to happen. So they will survive this, and you'll probably see them eventually head down that path. Studios will not, because with the AI thing that we're talking about in a different video, if I can get computers to create everything, what do I need people for?
That's true.
Because I can now, because and the number one movie this year is Mario Brothers, a video game. Imagine if the Sony and Nintendo deal never go away. We never get the PS1. You're not old enough. He remembers this. The PS1 was supposed to be when Sony and Nintendo merged.
To the Super Nintendo.
Right.
So it used to be called the Super Nintendo the Super PlayStation.
Yeah.
It had a weird name. And the whole thing came down to Sony being like, well, you know, since we're doing this add-on with you guys, what if we like get some of your IPs? And Nintendo was like, oh, hell no, you ain't going to get Mario, Zelda, and that's us. No, no, whatever you release is on our, because I think at the end of the day, they were like, well, if we create something down the road, can we use it? And they were like, no, we're that. So PlayStation was like, screw you, we're going to create our own thing. And that's when you get the PlayStation and the Nintendo and Sega, because it was always Sega and Nintendo. And then you get PlayStation.
And it also led to the Xbox and so forth. But if Nintendo keeps control of everything, they've eventually destroyed Sega. We don't get what we have now.
Because Nintendo was, back in the day, Nintendo was they had a stronghold on console gaming, because now it doesn't really matter, but back in the day, you had to get a game and it had that Nintendo quality seal. Yeah. And companies had to create different type of companies. That's why you had like Squaresoft, which now is Square Enix, and you had so many Acclaim, and you had I forgot, there was so many.
The early days of
it was Williams, and you had different companies in the gaming industry, and you're like, damn, but why? And when you look in the history of some of those companies, they're like, oh, but that's Square Enix and all this. And you're like, they had to create different companies because Nintendo will only allow every company to release 3 games a year.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, we're losing money. Yep. So they would create this different company and sell 3 more games. And that's what sucks when only one company controls everything. That's why it was nice when PlayStation came in. And then you had Xbox, because Xbox had to come in because guess what? They were providing the disk drive to the Sega Dreamcast. So they were like, oh, we're already in the gaming. So
we'll just cut out Sega
and do our own thing. Because, dude, I don't know if you ever knew that, but on the Sega Dreamcast, you could actually burn CDs. Like if there were music CDs, and play them out of your Sega Dreamcast without modding or nothing, because the disk drive was so freaking yes, literally you could download
badass.
And just, I had a friend that did that, and he had like a whole thing just of games, and we used to play every game.
Yeah, and the competition breeds the technology.
True.
If you get away all the studios and one person or 2 people control it, they can limit what gets released.
True.
And that is how this is where we sit now. At one point, we had about 15 or 16 studios, but everybody's buying and merging all the different networks. We're now slowly being shaken down to where one person is going to decide basically what you see.
Yep.
Imagine.
Because think about it.
Secret Invasion 2.
Think about it. Newspapers are already destroyed.
AI voice.
Newspapers are already destroyed.
It doesn't. We don't need them no more.
The New York Times, biggest newspaper in this country, got rid of its sports section a week and a half ago. Wow. They already bought the website, The Athletic. They're going to let them do the sports. We spent $500 million on this, which we shouldn't have spent. So we'll just let them cover sports, and all the great New York Times columnists, we'll just put you somewhere else.
Damn.
It's the same when we know Disney's going to be sold. 99% it's Apple unless somebody else comes in. And it doesn't matter now. 5 years from now.
It's going to matter.
10 years from now. It's basically the end of everything.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
that's
that is pretty heavy.
right.
And we're already seeing what that actually entails because of what Disney did itself.
Mm-hmm.
They bought every fucking thing.
Right.
And now, oh shit, this ain't really that our thing. Let's pass it on to someone else.
Right. And it's only 2 people who have that kind of money. That's in America.
That's crazy.
2 American-based companies that have that kind of money. Both could use the boost.
That's a big ass boost.
Just think about it. Amazon loses money on the NFL.
Disney brought to you by Apple.
They got the NFL. Something that Netflix and Apple and no one else has. So they're willing to lose money to get you to be a. Because think about it. Though I know your girl watches football, but if she didn't, she's a Prime member. So then you get to watch football. Your girl gets to watch. They sell her stuff. And now they're going to do a Black Friday Prime Day game to help promote Amazon Prime on Black Friday. Yeah.
Amazon Prime on Black Friday?
NFL game. They're going to have still the traditional Thursday, Thanksgiving Day games, then a special game that Friday to announce deals. Because remember, after that is Cyber Monday. And you promote that all the way in there.
That's genius.
And that is
fuck.
why Disney selling to Apple would be a big deal. Because all the content we're now getting, we could get it. Apple won't have a budget because I have Apple. I'm going to get rid of it soon. I got it for one documentary, and it was worth the $6.99 I paid for it. Apple does have better documentaries and can compete with everybody, but don't nobody watch.
I'm
documentaries.
going to be honest. I got Apple TV.
And you don't watch.
I watched a couple of things that have been
yeah,
interesting.
but think
like
about
they
it,
got like a prehistoric documentary
Yeah, seen
how
that.
the world will be with the
Yeah.
dinosaurs, and
Started
that
watching
that's been nice.
Oh, no. I got to go buy it.
No, trust me. The stuff they have is great.
Yeah,
The
and
one-
it's good. No, bro, and it's good quality.
Damn it.
Good
I'm
quality.
part of it.
No, bro, you need to give it a check. You
Yeah,
know, I
and-
got it because they gave me like. Obviously, look at all my devices. Like they just gave me 3 months for buying that
Yep.
that iPad, this little iPad. So I just tag it on, and I got like a year and probably
we are
a
a
half.
very big Apple.
Right. And like, that's how you get people in there. If they got Disney and all the IPs, they would blow up.
Yeah,
Dang.
because they give you 3 months up to a year when you buy a new Apple product. They know they could do it, bro. Apple, yeah, and trust me, bro, they sell stuff.
But think about it. But then you're taking one more studio off the market.
Yeah, and that's the bad part about it.
Dude, Apple's the one that's gonna buy it.
Right.
Bro, I could see Apple doing great things with the Disney IP, especially with their Apple Vision Pro. Let's just stop there.
All right. If you like the topic, give it a thumbs up. Recommend this video to anyone.
Good topic. Holy shit.
PS5 giveaway at 2,000 subscribers. Just leave a comment. Special attraction from Sleepy at 5,000 likes on any video. And the closer we get to 5,000, the more we'll give away of what he will do.
It's not going to happen.
Deuces, nerds.
Deuces, nerds.